Let's call the meeting to order. We are at the City of Marshalltown City Hall Council Chambers. Today's date is March 11, 2019, and it's 5:30 p.m. And the address is 10 West State Street. The mayor and council welcome comment from the public during the discussion of any of the agenda items. You're required to step to the mic, state your name and address for the record, and limit the time to present your remarks to 3 minutes or less so that others may have the opportunity. All speakers shall speak clearly and direct their comments to the mayor and city council and not to any councilor specifically. It's at my discretion and the council's discretion to respond to specific questions and comments or have staff respond during the meeting. Now that we're called to order, will those who are able please stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Hoop.
Here.
Isom.
Here.
Lamer.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Weirin.
Here.
Cahill.
Here.
Gowdy.
Here.
Very good. Full house, even though it doesn't look like it on the camera. It's time now for the mayor, council, and administrator comments. Does any councilor have any comments? Jessica, how about you?
None, Your Honor.
None for me either. Madam Clerk, please, well, let's entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Very good. Before we vote, let's have the city clerk read that agenda for us, please.
Approve council minutes of February 25th and the bill list of $1,279,243.22. Approve the January 2019 financial statements. Resolution approving a contract for transit advertising between the City of Marshalltown and Midwest Truck Advertising, LLC. And approve transfer liquor license for Jake's Game Room from 207 East Main Street to 918 North 4th Avenue with renewal.
If there's no discussion, let's do the roll call on the vote on the motion.
Isom.
Yes.
Lamer.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Weirin.
Yes.
Cahill.
Yes.
Gowdy.
Yes.
Hoop.
Yes.
Carried. Very good. Thanks. On to category G for resolutions. Would you read the first one, please?
Resolution to approve facade application for 216-218 East Main Street for Foster and Urbanowski.
I guess we could entertain a motion and
Move to
second.
approve. Second.
Let's go to discussion then. Welcome, Jenny Etter.
Hi, Jenny Etter, Executive Director, Marshalltown Central Business District, 16 East Main. I have two proposals for you tonight for your recommendation, and this is just the start of all of the reconstruction stuff that we've got going on downtown, and then you'll see a lot more applications for this funding. You're going to be amazed at how beautiful these buildings are going to look, all the plans that are coming through my office. And we're really encouraging people to apply for these grants. You know, we've had $78,000 in this till for a while, and now finally, after the insurance is being settled for these properties and they're doing the renovations, you're going to see more applications come in for that gap of what isn't being funded. And there are really a lot of the business owners, like these two in particular, are going a step further to make even further restoration to their buildings and storefronts. So we're really pleased to bring you these two applications tonight.
Any questions or comments by the councilors? I've got one. They've put their home, which is a loft above that building, on the tour of treasures in the
Yes.
past, and it's a gorgeous loft up there too.
That's right. Yes.
Any public comment? Yes, sir.
Mark Eaton, 1007 South 10th Avenue. I have a couple of questions. EFS is basically the fake stucco. And there's a lot of buildings on Main Street that are damaged, and I think it's the cheapest option. So is that a look that the charrette committee and everybody decided that we should have? I'm also questioning, I know there's a few business owners downtown that aren't aware that code upgrade insurance will cover a lot of the facade upgrades that are required by the CBD. And if they have that code upgrade insurance or not. If they don't, their insurance company should have a waiver from them that says that they don't have it or that they declined it. And so are these monies that they're asking for covered by something else? And then in the second facade grant for CGA, one of the members of the committee works for CGA, and two of the members for the committee assigning these grants don't live within Marshalltown, so they don't pay city taxes. So this is TIF money that we're giving away, which is taxpayer money. So I don't know if that's the best idea.
Thank you. Other public comment? Roll call, please.
This is on the first resolution for 216, 218 East Main Street. Lamer,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Weirin,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Gowdy,
Yes.
Hoop,
Yes.
Isom,
Yes.
Very good. Carried. Would you please read the next resolution?
Resolution to approve facade application for 14 East Main Street for Clapsettle Garber Associates.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I move for approval.
I'll take that as a second then, Bethany. Thank you. Any comment?
My name is Carlene Prazak. I live at 111 Harmony Drive. And what are these facade applications exactly? Are they something that, you know, the government's handing out, or who looks at these and approves them, or?
Jenny, are you in a position to answer that?
Sure. I don't know.
Sure, this is TIF money that's been allocated by the city specifically for either facade upgrades on buildings or for building code upgrade.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions from the councilors or the public? Call the roll, please.
Martin,
Yes.
Weirin,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Gowdy,
Yes.
Hoop,
Yes.
Isom,
Yes.
Lamer,
Yes.
Carried. Thank you. Would you read the next resolution for us, please?
resolution allocating $55,000 of funding to the public art at the police and fire building.
Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments by the councilors?
I would like to make a comment if I could, Mayor.
Please do.
I have had several constituents provide feedback on this item as it relates to the public art at the police and fire building. Much of it was positive that yes, we should do that, but there were some that was negative that felt after the tornado and with the state that some of our communities stepped in, that to spend $5,500 on public art was not appropriate. And I guess I want to answer that with saying I see this public art and the putting together and putting forward of our community building for the police and fire department as a step toward normalizing our community. And I think spending this money, it will help people appreciate where we are going in our community, not just where we have been, but how we are going forward, that we want to look at whether it's the facades downtown or a new public building, and we want to inspire people to have our community be well represented, well presented, so that it is a place that people will appreciate and will marvel at. So I am in support of this amendment or this resolution.
Thank you, Sue. Any other councilors' comment? Time for public comment.
Jacob Raleigh, 910 East South Street. You know, I would just, there's a couple little things, and, you know, I think maybe Susan had misstated there, because when she was talking there, she said $5,500, not $55,000, which I think $5,500 would be a lot more acceptable, probably.
I apologize.
Yeah, yep. No, and that's fine. But really, I think what in the statements that she made do make some sort of sense. But what I would like to look at too is how often does the public really walk into the police station for any other reason other than the fact that you've been arrested? Those people I don't really think need a beautiful path to where they're headed. Also, you know, another thing is spending that type of money on something that has zero return. There's no way for a piece of artwork to make us any money. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense there either. You know, there is much better uses that we probably could use that type of money for. I understand that there is a surplus in the budget, and so the money has to be spent somehow. But I think that we could definitely either use a local artist and actually just get something done for a little bit cheaper and do, you know, something that way, or just appreciate the fact that we have a beautiful police station and it might not even need artwork. So that's just where I'm at. So thank you.
Thank you. Other public comment? Roll call, please.
Weirin,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Gowdy,
Yes.
Hoop,
Yes.
Isom,
Yes.
Lamer,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Carried again. Thank you. On to resolution number 4, please.
Resolution approving fees charged by the Parks and Recreation Department for park shelter rentals and aquatic center fees.
Is there a motion to approve?
So move, Your Honor.
Any second?
Second.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Jeff Hubbard, Parks and Recreation Director. The staff and I have been looking at some fees with us taking over the new aquatic center and some other fees that we've been charging, and we haven't raised fees since about 2012, so I thought it'd be time to look at some things. And we're not changing a whole lot of things, but basically want to make sure we're covering our costs for maintaining these facilities. So if you look at your chart in front of you, the big changes that we're making are to rent the entire aquatic facility. We want to raise that from $525 to $600. That covers the cost of all the lifeguards, staffing the entire rental during a rental. The other ones are for birthday parties. The previous fee basically covered the cost of the admission into the pool and the hot dog and the drink. We want to at least cover some staff time that's going to be associated with those rentals or those birthday parties. So we'd like to raise those up $10. And then the community building and reunion hall, we'd like to raise those up a little bit to cover our costs with those buildings get rented the most, about 100 times a year or more, and so we're having to maintain them a little bit more, having staff to go in and clean some things up. So we think those fees are appropriate. Right now, both those buildings are rented out for almost every weekend in April all the way through till October. We already have some 2020 dates, so it's obviously there's a demand for the building, and it's going to continue to have that demand, so we'd like to be able to cover our costs for that. There are 2 errors. The weekday fees for Anson and Kiwanis, we are not changing those. They should be $40 and $35, not $480. And then the community building weekday fees, we just want to reflect the kind of the half price of the weekend fees. So the Anson Kiwanis log cabin fees should not be changing, just the community building to $125 for the weekend, $100 for Reunion Hall, and then the community building should go up to $65 and $50 for Reunion Hall.
Thank you. Any comments or questions of the councilors?
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Jeff, go over one more time with me on the park shelter. I see the error here again. with Anson Park Shelter. Where was the other one?
Kiwanis said 30, it should be 35.
Got it. Okay, they're right next door.
Yep,
Got it. Thank you.
which I thought I copied and pasted those directly and just changed the other ones, but something happened in translation.
Other councilor comments or questions? I keep forgetting to ask if we've had any written comments about this topic.
No, there haven't been, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me just have a standing rule with you that you can stop the proceedings and let me know if somebody has done that. Any public comment about this? Let's call the roll.
Cahill,
Yes.
Gowdy,
Yes.
Hoop,
Yeah.
Isom,
Yes.
Lamer,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Weirin.
Yes.
Carried. Very good. Thank you. On to item number 6, and that is public hearing and resolution. I'm sorry, did I skip 5? Oh, I did. Sorry. Yeah. Madam Clerk, please read item 5.
Resolution authorizing the City Parks and Rec Department to enter into an agreement to rent the Pleasant Hill Pool at 909 South 12th Street for swimming lessons throughout the 2019 calendar year.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any staff wish to address us?
So for the last couple of years, we've been renting the Pleasant Hill Pool from the AEA Pool Foundation. The Pool Foundation is now separating itself from the AEA and being their own entity. They raise the money to build the pool. They pay for all the maintenance, utilities, water, at the pool, all the chemicals, with the help of us as sort of the aquatic expertise to help them out with some things. And so, like I said, the last couple of years, we've been renting it from them to do swim lessons in the evening. It's usually for 1 or 2 hours a night. We will be doing it probably in March and April, not so much in the summertime when we have the aquatic center open. So our fees are pretty low for renting this, and our swim lesson fees are $40 for a child to rent. So obviously, if we have a couple of kids there, we're going to be able to cover the cost of renting this from them. Like I said, they maintain the facility. We would staff it with our own lifeguards and our staff during the swim lesson time.
Very good. Any counselor questions or comments?
I do have a question, Your Honor. When I'm looking at the sheet that use of the indoor pool for swimming lessons, can you clarify again? And I had a hard time hearing Jeff, so I apologize that I'm on the phone. Is this also the same as renting it for, I mean, will it be rented for a special event? Again, someone wants to have a private birthday party or something. Is this the same type of thing, or is this just for the swimming lessons?
This is just for us to use it for swim lessons. We currently have not used it to get into the birthday party or other type of facility, mainly because we haven't hired the lifeguards. It could be something that we could look at in the future once we have our lifeguards hired, and I think we would maybe come up with a separate agreement for other rentals of the building besides swim lessons.
Thank you very much.
Other questions, comments? Public comment.
Mark Eaton, 1007 South 10th Avenue. In the agreement, it says that we can't charge the people who rent it a fee. That's, it says we're paying $10, citizens are paying $10 to rent it, but it says we can't charge the people a fee to use it. So if there's clarification on that $40 for swim lessons or whatever, it'd be nice to hear.
Thank you.
And I guess this was a contract that we've used in previous years, so I just, being new, copied and pasted and changed some dates on it, so I guess I didn't really notice that part. It was the same agreement we previously used to rent it for our program, so.
Thank you. Other public comment?
Anna Wolvers, 213 Thomas Drive. And just, I know there's been conversation before of difficulty in finding lifeguards and their pay, so not sure if these would be the same ones or different ones since it'd be in the evening, and when future conversation will be about paying them so that we can get quality people hired for those positions.
Thank you.
And our hope is that when we have lifeguards hired for the summer, that they'll be looking for things to do in the off-season. A lot of them want to continue to work, and so if we have a facility for them to work at, hopefully those good, hard-working lifeguards that we have for the summer will continue to work for us all year long at this facility. And we're already working on getting some to work at the lessons now that will continue to work with us this summer. So hopefully having that year-round experience will get us those good quality staff.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? Roll call.
Goudy?
Yes.
Hoop?
Yes.
Isom?
Yes.
Lamer?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Weirin? Cahill?
Yes.
Very good. Carried. Let's go on to the next item.
Public hearing and resolution to adopt the budget and certify taxes for fiscal year 2020.
Is there, oh, I'm sorry. I'll declare that the public hearing is open now at 8 minutes to 6. Have there been any written comments received?
I have not received any written comments.
Next in order is public comment. Any public comment? Is there a staff review on this one?
Good evening, Diana Steiner, Budget Director. So these are the official forms that get submitted to the county. Let me spell this up here. So down here in the lower right corner, our new levy rate will be $15, 15.38434 per $1,000 of taxable valuations. This is a minor increase of 10.276 cents. The council took action to reduce the levy by using an additional $500,000 for local option sales tax. This is also the official budget document. So for FY 2020, you are giving us the authority to spend the money based on these functions. So like, for example, public safety. If we need to spend more money in the fire department but less in the police department, that's fine, as long as the total for that function is below budget. And the total for the entire budget comes in under as well.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Any questions or comments? Public comment? Call the roll.
Close the hearing.
Oh, close the hearing. Thank you. I even have the cheat sheet that tells me to do that. Sorry. Okay, I will declare the public hearing closed at 6 minutes to 6.
Move to approve the budget.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Hoop?
Yes.
Isom?
Yes.
Lamer?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Weirin?
Yes.
Cahill?
Yes.
Goudy?
Yes.
Very good, that carried, and thank you, Diana, for your good work in our finance department. Let's go on to the next public hearing.
Yes, we have a public hearing and a resolution to approve the capital improvement plan for 5 fiscal years, fiscal year 19 through fiscal year 23.
I'll declare the public hearing is open at 5:55 p.m. on this one. I'm assuming no written comments were received by the clerk.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Next is time for public comments. Next, I'm sorry.
Carlene Prazak, 111 Harmony Drive. I was wondering, what are the capital improvements? Do you have something to put up on the overhead projector or something?
It's actually like a 25 to 30 page document,
okay,
and so,
okay.
but it is available on our website or by contacting the city clerk.
Okay.
Other public comment? Staff review?
Diana Steiner, Finance Director. So the 5-year capital plan is part of the agenda item, so you can go to this website and see what we're requesting funds for. So just as a reminder, in Funds 030 and 032, this is what the CIP levy will be used for. All the other funds will be paid for by grants, donations, enterprise funds, etc. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thanks. Any council comments? I'll declare this public hearing is closed then at 5:57 p.m. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
There were 3 at the same time. Winner goes to Cahill. Any other comment or questions? If not, let's call the roll again, please.
Isom,
Yes.
Lamer,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Weirin,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Goudy,
Yes.
Hoop.
Yes.
Thank you. Would you read the next item, number 8?
Certainly. We have 6 resolutions for the public safety building change orders. We have a resolution for gypsum wall assemblies for Hillsabeck Shock, increase of $2,513. For Allied Construction Services, for floor coverings, an increase of $2,856. Plumbing and mechanical for Tony's Plumbing, an increase of $918. An increase of $522.04 for electrical communications and security for DeVries Electric. Increase of $15,893.87 for general supplies for Garland Construction. Aluminum storefronts, curtain walls, and glazing for Foreman Ford, an increase of $6,315. Would you like to act on all these individually, or would you like to approve them all at once?
I would suggest we approve them all at once unless any counselor objects to that. Okay, very good.
Move to approve. Second.
Any questions or comments?
Ethan Dick, Story Construction. These are some upgrades and changes to scope for the project over there, based on it's actually 7, 8, 9 different changes to the scope that affects the 6 contractors that you listed there. So, if there's any questions on anything specific, I can answer them.
Any counselor comments or questions? Any public comments or questions?
Anna Wolvers, 213 Thomas Drive. I caught the last part of Jake's comment about the public art. I've spoke on that before. I know some of you are very cautious on budget increases, and we appreciate that. But I do think there's going to be a lot more changes with the delay in weather, and I think we should wait till we know the final bills before we do nice-to-haves like a large amount of public art, so that we know that we're fiscally wise and sound in this plan that will cost 20 years to repay.
Other public comment?
Carlene Prazak, 111 Harmony Drive. I was wondering, are we under budget as of right now for the police department?
I think the short answer is we are under budget for both.
Now, I heard, just through the public, that the fire trucks are too large to take that curve, you know, there, that corner there on, was that High Street? Is that true? Do you know anything about that? And was the, doing resurfacing, or doing the, what is it, the street, or the, what is it, to keep the water out of the basement, you know, that stuff, redoing the, underneath the streets, was that also included in the budget? When we had that, when it said it wouldn't be over 17, whatever, $million?
Anyone want to?
The sewer
address that?
system, you know, redoing that.
I believe the
Storm sewer.
storm sewer improvements the
Yeah.
city council has done on a.
The city council just awarded the contract on the storm sewer improvements at the last council meeting. I can't remember the contractor's name on that. That is actually being paid for with stormwater bond funds and is not part of the $17.5 million due to the scope of work.
And I didn't lead her about where we are in the budget, did I? Okay, very good, thanks. Any other public comment? Hearing none, seeing none, I need to close this one too. It's 6. Nope. Just call for a vote? Okay. Let's do the roll.
Lamer,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Weirin,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Goudy,
Yes.
Hoop,
Yes.
Isom.
Yes.
Very good, carried. We're on to the new category of H, and that is ordinances. Madam Clerk, please tell us what the first one is.
We have a second reading of ordinance 14980, approving changes to the Marshalltown zoning ordinance of 2010 regarding Chapter 29 table of permitted and special uses for commercial and industrial districts. And we could abbreviate this to the U-Haul ordinance.
Is there a motion to approve?
You lost me.
I had recommended to one of you who called today that we probably need a motion and second on the floor, and then if one of you wants to move for an amendment, that would be the appropriate time to do that.
I'd move to approve then. I'll second.
Okay. Is there any other discussion or councilor comments or motions?
Lamer, excuse me, what did you move to approve? The second reading? And who seconded it? Hoop, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer an amendment, and my motion would read to not allow external access storage units in a regional commercial district. That's my amendment. I can speak to it.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion to amend?
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
further information has come to light, and the public input has been strong. I think all councilors have received some. I think what we've got here is we've done some due diligence. The Planning and Zoning Commission has been forthright and has done, again, due diligence in their efforts to preserve, as is, the ordinance with regard to this question. So I open for further comments amongst the council members and the public.
Let's start with the councilors first.
I think to add to the comment, I think the main thing brought to light from additional parties and is the fact that U-Haul has a similar structure in place in Des Moines, that they've done the same thing without external buildings on site as well. So I just wanted to make sure I highlight that because they've done this before, and there's no reason that we should make an exception ourselves either.
Thank you. Other comments?
So, Your Honor.
Yes.
Just so I'm clear, this is regarding the special exterior kind of marketing piece, right? That was discussed, that some of us voted no on, but others said yes, and that amendment passed last time, right?
That is correct. And I'm calling them
No.
outside structures, storage structures.
Say that again, sorry.
And the term I've been using is outside storage structures.
Right. And so this amendment would say no to that part of the ordinance, correct?
Exactly.
Ordinance change. Okay.
Okay. If there aren't any other councilor comments, Jake?
Yeah, Jacob Raleigh, 910 East South Street. Honestly, I'll be honest, this is a comment I just came up in my head right now sitting there because I haven't read a whole lot into this one. The one thing I worry about on this is the curb appeal of whatever buildings they're going to be putting in. You know, generally a storage facility would just be a metal-sided building. That's generally what they do, or what they generally normally do with them. I really don't think that would look real good right along the main furrow through down the center of town. Also, the other concern, and I've ran up against this one personally because I own a property at 718 South Center Street and have some land there and wanted to put up some storage units. There was, you know, with Riemann Schneider, there was a lot of hoops to jump through over stormwater management. They wanted water retention ponds and water retention areas. I really don't think you have the area there to have a water retention system in any way because you're dealing with a concrete parking lot. So I would want to look into how the stormwater management would be managed as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Chris Brodeen, 2013 Bailey Drive, and I appreciate your comments that you made, Mr. Martin, because I think as a former zoning member, I would support the proposal that the zoning commission brought to you as it is, and getting rid of those additional storage units out of that ordinance proposal is the right thing to do. That's not the image we want coming down Marshalltown. This property isn't even being marketed for sale right now. It's marketed for rent. Okay, they brought a buyer, and so to make a permanent change in that zoning, I think has long-term implications. And from being on the zoning commission before, you know, you look to the future. There's a lot of good things that are trying to be done in Marshalltown right now, so I would just ask that all of the councilors that are here tonight to support the amendment and not allow additional storage buildings outside in this zoning, which would be supporting what the zoning commission brought forth to start with. Thank you.
Thank you. I know the councilors and mayor got a well-reasoned letter from one of the current planning and zoning commissioners, and I think the Chamber of Commerce may have also polled its members, or at least the directors, and taken the same position for whatever that's worth. Any other public comment?
Could I ask a question?
You bet.
Has anyone contacted the guy that's here to do this project? And if he would still do the project if this goes through?
Is there anyone from U-Haul able to address that? I had thought there was going to be a representative here.
Yeah, Michelle Sponheimer, Housing Community Development Director. Randy, who presented at your last council meeting, was unable to attend tonight. I don't know if there's a representative here or not. They were planning to maybe have somebody. You know, I think that in the commission meetings, they stated that it could have an impact. Whether or not that remains to be complete, I think they'd have to do their full assessment on you know, their private side of things to know. So we haven't directly cornered that issue with that question.
I traded phone calls twice today, never connected with the with your counterpart in Ames, because I'd heard that at Ames the conversion from Kmart to U-Haul also did exclude the exterior buildings, but I wasn't able to get that confirmed or denied.
It's true.
Is it? Okay.
John Boston, 1710 Rainbow Drive. I'm current chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission. And I sent you an email, and I did a Google search of all the U-Haul buildings I could find on Google, and I didn't find any with storage out in front of the facility. And I happened to be in Appleton, Wisconsin this weekend, and I'll pass this around. They have just converted a Kmart facility and to a U-Haul facility. And one feature that they show there is they actually have the people driving into the facility to load and unload and then driving back out. And you can see there's, a few trucks parked out in front and that type of thing. But the other thing I didn't put any in my email to the council is that since this section of the ordinance applies to both malls, there are actually several other lots. For example, north of Arby's, south of the Quick Star facility, and around, I believe, Jimmy John's, that those facilities could also add storage buildings if this passed, allowing storage buildings in those lots, I believe. And the way the ordinance is currently, was amended, there are absolutely no restrictions on the storage buildings. They could be any height, any width, any length, any color, any direction, any placement on the lots. So all of that would need to be reconsidered, I believe, if you were looking at actually allowing a storage building in conjunction with that. So,
Thank you, John.
thank you.
And thank you for serving so long on that planning and zoning. And I forgot to mention Vision Marshalltown also weighed in and agrees with the chamber. Yes, sir.
Matt Brodeen, 315 Harrison Drive. I'm also on the Planning and Zoning Board, and just second what John said. Also, I would say, with Jake's question on the zoning, and Michelle can correct me, the zoning ordinance for that, it doesn't matter if it's stucco or if it's not. So if they say they're going to make it pretty, to go piggyback off what John just said, they could go, someone else could go do it somewhere else, and the zoning already allows for the steel, wood, whatever, almost anything for exterior. So, we spent a bunch of money telling our North 3rd Avenue corridor needs to change from an industrial kind of look. I don't think that's a good idea to do that in our middle of our town.
Thank you, Matt.
One thing that I forgot to mention is the representative from U-Haul in front of Planning and Zoning said they were actually just building these buildings for marketing purposes. They probably wouldn't even put anything in them. So from a point of view of feasibility, if they're going to save money by not having the buildings, that makes the project more feasible, not less feasible in my mind. So, and we told them they can paint the doors on the front of the building, they could put doors in the front of the building, and get just as much marketing appearance off of it as putting up an empty building and putting doors on it. So,
thank you. Other comment?
Jacob Raleigh, 910 East South Street. Another thing, as I'm hearing more about this, is just something I just wanted to talk about. I really think it would be very, very, very important for, like I forget his name, but the director of the Planning and Zoning Commission there. It would be very important to say if we were going to do this, what these buildings would look like, because nothing stops them from lining up a bunch of shipping containers and saying, hey, they're storage units. And that'd be the easiest way. I mean, I've thought that would be a great way to make money. I've got land in different places all over town, and I could line up 50 shipping containers at $2,000 a piece and paint them a pretty color and rent them out and probably make just as much money as any other storage unit company, except for the fact that that doesn't look good. And so I really think even if we did go forward, you would want to definitely make sure that you regulated what these buildings could look like. So,
thank you, Jacob. Anyone else? Let's call the roll.
As amended, Martin,
Yes.
Weirin,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Gowdy,
Yes.
Hoop,
No.
Isom,
Yes.
Lamer.
Is this on the amendment only?
Yes.
No.
Okay, the amendment carried. Now, let's revisit the motion and second to approve the ordinance, now as amended.
As amended now.
Any further councilor comment or questions? Or public? Let's vote.
Martin,
Yes.
Weirin,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Gowdy,
Yes.
Hoop,
No.
Isom,
Yes.
Lamer.
No.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And would you read the last ordinance for us, please?
Second reading for the ordinance approving changes to the Marshalltown zoning ordinance of 2010 regarding Chapter 19 Traditional Neighborhood District and rezoning properties at 108, 110, 112, and 114 North 3rd Avenue from R4 medium density to traditional neighborhood.
Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
I'll go with Weirin for the motion and Gowdy for the
Second.
second. Councilor comments or questions? Public comment? Let's vote.
Weirin,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Gowdy,
Yes.
Hoop,
Yes.
Isom,
Yes.
Lamer,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Very good. That carried as well. We now go into the discussion section, and the one item listed there is a request for $3,000 of contribution to the 4th of July fireworks.
Yes, Louisa had reached out to me, and she is here tonight as well, requesting the $3,000, which was what the city council had contributed last year. And this is coming from local option sales tax from your council designated portion. So it did really need an action from you all to move this forward to make this happen. And so I don't know if Louisa would like to say anything or.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this again this year, Louisa.
So, Luisa Ortega, 2023 Catalina Place, and I'd like to thank you for continuing to support the 4th of July fireworks. And it is a lot of work. We're getting the fundraising stuff going. I've turned in the grant application to the Convention and Visitors Bureau for their grant money, and trying to, again, reach out to JPS to see if they will help out with donations and the fundraising part of it, and Hy-Vee and everybody that has helped. We are reaching out to all the businesses to see. I know with a tornado things are going to be a little tough this year, but I also think that's why it's important to continue doing the project to show the spirit of our community, and it really is going to be the Marshalltown Strong, just to show the fireworks and our respect in celebrating our community.
It's another one of those things that tells us we're getting back to normal or even improving. I'll bet you have a good year this year fundraising. Does anybody want to make a motion that we direct staff to do this?
It would come back as a resolution on the next meeting to solidify and confirm.
A better way to ask it, does anybody object to having it come back next time as a resolution?
I would like to say that I think last year we increased that to 5,000, and I'd like to have that initiative again.
I would concur with that.
Me too.
Everybody's nodding heads. Let's do it at the 5.
Was that a motion and a second? Would you like to take a roll call?
Yeah, let's consider that was and do the roll.
Thank you. Cahill,
Yes.
Gowdy,
Yes.
Hoop,
Yes.
Isom,
Yes.
Lamer,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Weirin.
Yes.
Carried. Yeah, I guess I didn't get to see the Cahill and Weirin nodding of the head. But okay. On to item J, which is public comment, and I have to repeat a similar suggestion. Members may make comments on any item that was not on the agenda during this time. Again, you approach the mic, give us your name and address, limit comments to 3 minutes unless longer comment is authorized by me. The speaker shall direct comments to the mayor and council as a whole. The mayor and councilors should not engage in discussion or debate on items raised by members of the public, and no action may be taken on items raised in public comments in order to comply with open meetings laws. With that admonition, is anybody wishing to make a public comment?
Carlene Prazak, 111 Harmony Drive. I hope this year we put some money into our streets because they're in pretty bad shape, a lot of them.
Thank you. There was an interesting article in the Des Moines Register today about it's 3 times as many potholes as they've had in the past. So I don't think we're the Lone Ranger on this one this year. And it was a brutal freeze thaw. Yeah. Any other public comment? Okay. Let us.
I need to get them on the phone and for the.
Oh yeah. Okay. We will be going into a closed session for legal purposes. But while we're getting them on the phone, I'll declare that we are adjourned at 6:22
No,
p.m.
we're not adjourned.
Oh, we're not. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. We don't adjourn.
We're not adjourned.
Thank you for calling Lynch Dallas PC. Our normal business hours are Monday. Please hold a moment.
Who is it? That sign. Anywhere?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, this is Lynch Dallas. You've got Nathan Cooker and Pat O'Connell on the phone.
Hi, guys. I need to hit join calls to get 2 other council members back on the line, and then we'll read through the procedure prior to going into closed session.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Okay, I think I have you all back.
I'm back here.
Warm, Mike. Stay dry and warm. Yes.
Madam Clerk, would you read what our next item of action is, please?
Yes, I'll need a motion and a second to enter into closed session pursuant to Section 21.5, subsection 1, paragraph C of the Code of Iowa to discuss strategy with counsel in matters where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the city in that litigation. The City of Marshalltown has an attorney-client relationship with Attorney Roger Shell, appointed as city attorney on May 5, 2014, by Council Resolution 2014-047, and with Lynch Dallas PC by Council Resolution 2017-093, approved May 8, 2017. Is there a motion and a second for this motion?
So moved. Second.
That was Lamer and Martin.
And Martin, right?
Roll call. Gowdy.
And before